Okay, kids, let's go.
Sorry, my hair's all flopping.
There has been an awakening.
John Simone, hello, welcome to the show.
Have you felt it?
Yeah.
Hello, what have we here?
These guys are so funny.
Hello.
Holy shit. You ain't C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Alexei.
Yeah.
Oh, let's lay by the bay and eat some hay, make things out of clay. What do you say?
I just may.
Just may.
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
Classic movie, man. One of my top, easily. This might be controversial. Easily my top Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. It's, and I will admit, 90% of it is nostalgia, the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy Madison doesn't hold water to it. Waterboy is a lot better than I remember. Obviously we've quoted it. But yeah.
Well, that's surprising to say. You know, it's great. It's fantastic.
Happy Gilmore,
I like it.
Big Daddy's great, but Happy Gilmore does it for me. I think it's the whole golf thing. Since we grew up, we caddied for so long.
That makes sense. Yeah, I was going to suggest that.
Like Caddyshack is so near and dear to my giblets.
Yeah, it's close.
I do
there.
watch Caddyshack quarterly.
Fuck quarterly reports. I'm watching Caddyshack quarterly. Quarterly
Just to
Caddyshack.
stay freshened.
Get
You
a
gotta
little
freshen
quarterly shack, man. Quarterly shack.
You know, at some point I was watching like Spaceballs quarterly, but that I kind of got burnt out on that.
You've never used the term quarterly in your life.
Well, it's the end of the quarter, man. We're at the end of September.
That's
We're
true.
going into the fourth quarter. The Browns
Q4.
always lose it. No comment
2020.
there.
Q4 of the year of Armageddon.
Yeah.
See what happens. I would say Waterboy for me is the #1 Adam Sandler.
See, that's also surprising though, because that's like everybody listening, you don't think this one. It's like the trashiest of them all. It's like the weirdest, goofiest, but they put no money into it. But
What?
it is. I know. I agree. Yeah.
I feel like Waterboy was one of the most well produced of the bunch back in the 90s.
I guess maybe story wise, it was just like, yeah, let's just fucking throw it together. And I mean, they had decent actors in it.
From a certain point of view, that's what they did with all of those movies. Like, what's the plot this time? Oh, this fucking 20-year-old needs to go back to school. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
It's a valid point. There's not a lot of effort. I don't want to say that.
This hockey player dropout is going to play golf now. All right, that's fine.
All right.
Sounds good.
What does he do?
Let's do that. And they got to loop in one Savage star. So, yeah, Happy Gilmore had Carl Weathers. And then Kathy Bates and Waterboy. Who was in Billy Madison, though?
Well, also, don't forget about Coach Klein.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple big. Yeah, the Fonz was in it, man.
Yeah, I love me some Waterboy.
The fact that the Fonz was in it, and who he plays is like a withering nobody. Like he holds himself.
Withering nobody. Love it.
Kinda,
Welcome to the Star Wars show, everybody, where we talk about Adam Sandler.
Yeah, we've never spoken.
Travis Dunn, John Simone, Brendan Quinn, thanks for joining us. Glad to have you. John, do you want to know a fun fact about the prequels, he says? Well, perhaps I do. Depends on what it is.
Name it.
Tell me, and then I'll decide if I want to hear it or not.
Let me know in the comments. Yeah, so we've had a couple things go on.
Yeah. I'm always eager to hear your news reporting for the week.
Oh, I was assuming you had something.
Oh, I see how we're doing it.
I did bring up some stuff. They did drop. Oh wow! I brought up my browser. So behind the scenes, we kind of choose our backgrounds for our live feeds, and I searched Star Wars Smoke Show. Because I thought there would be a good background that I could put up, but no, it's just a bunch of boobs. But what I was getting at is they released kind of design on one of the High Republic characters' lightsaber.
Yes, that's what I was going to bring up as well.
Yeah, so we'll kind of talk about that. It's not going to be that much in depth, but it's kind of a cool, refreshing look.
Yeah. That'll be about 30 seconds.
I did start watching. I got like halfway through Doug Chang's The Evolution of Star Wars Design. It's like an hour-long YouTube video, but he
Nice.
did it at Celebration Chicago. Supposedly there was a panel that obviously we missed because we were never invited and we don't know what the fuck's going on.
Too many lines, couldn't get in.
Yeah, so it was kind of just like his walking through the prequels and his mindset and how he designed a lot of the stuff and pushing the boundaries. He mentioned Lucas stayed pretty close-knit, pretty straightforward on the original trilogy, and Lucas admittedly did that on purpose. And he said George told him to push the boundaries for the prequels. He really wanted to blow it out. He didn't want it to be almost like make it unrecognizable. This is completely different, and I think they really hit it out of the park with that suggestion.
I want to say that he was also on the Phantom Menace 20th anniversary panel.
Yeah.
I can't say with certainty, but I feel like he was one of the cast and crew that was on that
level
panel.
of certainty would you suggest?
I would say yellow level certainty.
Yellow. No, that's
certainty level yellow. Yeah.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's just jump into this since we're on this topic. So let me share my screen real quick. One single draft sparked some theories in my head. Let me share this real quick.
And as we're talking about this, John Simone's fun fact was the prequel trilogy had more practical effects than both the originals and sequels combined.
Yeah, I imagine because just the amount of sets. That's when I talk about world building and how big the original trilogy, or I'm sorry, the sequel. One of these days,
Star Wars.
It felt so big. The prequels, they were on different planets, different sets, hangars, in the streets, out in the fields. I mean, they were everywhere, underwater. Let me share this.
The planet core.
Up, you are blocking my screen.
God damn these settings. Zoom, can you please just save the settings when I change one? Just do it every time I want to do it. The same thing, please. Thank you. There you go.
This little clip.
Yeah. So sorry if you're listening after the fact, but what you should really do is tune in live so you can see what we're doing.
Yeah. So I'll describe it. It just shows simply it shows like a battle droid, some type of battle droid, not the ones that we know, riding just a horse, a regular horse.
Yeah.
Something about this really just like triggered something in me in a good way. It just like, you know what? This is fucking sweet. And it really got me thinking. Somewhere where we've never gone in the Star Wars universe is, I mean, we've touched upon it with like C-3PO and R2-D2, how they're like sentient and they're like, they can think for themselves and there's personality behind it. But where this was leading me with this picture was like, what if there was a colony of droids that ruled themselves, governed themselves? What if there was like a long lost planet where all organisms died? Let's say there was a meteor strike and it boiled the goddamn oceans and there wasn't any life, but the droids left over were able to take care of themselves and rebuild, and just all of a sudden like a droid world of droids. But that's it just really got me thinking, like that would be cool to come across something like that in Star Wars universe. And even in the cartoons, I don't think they push it that far.
There probably is somewhere in the corner of the galaxy that we don't know about yet. I'm waiting for Shinobi to say something. Actually, there's 14 books about this.
Actually, you guys are fucks.
I agree with you, though. I mean, that's kind of like the Geth in Mass Effect. It's a little different because they were created for a specific purpose. I guess that's not different at all. Ignore what I'm saying. But it was interesting. I always thought that was cool about Mass Effect, how the Geth are like their own race.
Yeah.
And they're all AI. Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Brendan said something about pit droids taking over native race in Clone Wars. See, I don't remember that. That was one of the 97 episodes that I skipped, possibly.
The frogs take over, then the droids, and then the pits, and now all the...
If Anakin isn't slaughtering things, I probably didn't watch that episode. I'm just going to say that right now. That's usually where it starts and ends for me.
Yeah. So I should bring her up.
That was a cool image, though. I like that. Yeah, it was a droid sitting on the horses. the what's the word? Not asymmetry. The juxtaposition of a droid riding a horse. I thought was it's very interesting.
Yeah, and it almost like there's a disconnect there. How would a droid think that riding a horse is
like why?
Like it's not efficient. There's no sense of efficiency behind it. Yeah. It's a weird juxtaposition, like you said. A little weird contrast there.
It's like something that you would see in the Dark Tower, which I'm always a fan of.
Oh yeah. I can't find the YouTube video that I was talking about, but long and short of it, there was a girl that was doing like watch throughs and reactions to all the Star Wars films. And that's kind of something that I've always been interested in, to see like other people's fresh takes on something that they've never experienced, especially in the Star Wars realm, because we're all douchebags. So I wanted to see, a fresh look, and she did like a full live or a full reaction, but she edited it up. So it's like,
couple minutes per.
Yeah. Revenge of the Sith was maybe 20 minutes that she went through. But admittedly, her Revenge of the Sith reaction, it got me tearing up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, when we watched Revenge of the Sith, we were, 16, 17 years old. Yeah. So, like, the killing of the younglings really didn't affect us at the time.
You cold-blooded son of a bitch.
I really was cheering at one point.
This is what I've been waiting for. The whole trilogy.
Have them. Cut them in half.
Ever since 99, I've been waiting for some kid to die.
But she's like, she knew that the younglings had to die, but her thought was like, I didn't know Anakin was the one to do it. She assumed like stormtroopers or something, something along. But I guess, when she started talking about her thoughts about it, it really like resonated. I was like, oh fuck,
yeah.
Like having him, like we all know he falls the dark side, he fucks up, you knew there was going to be a little bit of fighting between him and Padme.
That's such a deep level though, man.
But yeah, I mean, they're suggesting that there was murdering of innocent children.
Yeah. Well, innocent from a certain point of view.
Oh, there's no way you can say, yo, that one's going to grow up to murder something, He's giving me a weird look. That one's got a humpback. I don't know about that one.
I mean, they joined a dogmatic
no, they didn't
clan
join.
Of zealots.
They were kidnapped.
Yeah, well, their parents are at fault then.
Stop being kidnapped. I'm going to cut you in half.
This is a terrible line of thought. I'm just joking.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's
if we were more popular, there would be an article on Twitter tomorrow that says Rogue Squadron endorses murdering children. Maybe someone should write that article. Get us a few clicks.
Podcast legitimizes youngling murders. I mean,
canceled.
Yeah, from a certain point of view.
It is dark though. I really want to. Yeah, send me a link to those if you find them. I would like to watch those initial reactions from a new viewer. I feel like even if you've seen the movies a million times, seeing somebody else's introduction to it, I think can kind of freshen them up a little bit. So,
well, it's the same thing. It's you get tied up. I don't know why we're going to say this goddamn word again, nostalgia. But you get set in your ways. You view it once, and then you have your opinion set based off that first viewing. Yeah. Now, if you don't notice 10 other things that are right in front of you because you're focused on your first viewing, there's a lot that you could miss.
That's why doing the commentary is so fun.
Yeah, the commentaries are fun. It is a nice, refreshing point of view. And obviously episode 3 is so heavy to begin with. Everything happens. But the Order 66 sequence it gets heavier and heavier as you get older. I'll admit that, because it's man, I watched it. Now it was beyond that one. I watched another one that they were just like, wait a second. They're like, all these clones who have been fighting side by side with these Jedi are immediately turning on them. And that just him saying it out loud, like, I get it. That's exactly what's happening in front of me. But him saying it was like, and that's kind of the issue that a lot of us nerds had. Like, come on, but it's something innate. They can't control it. And he was spelling it out in front of me. I was like, that's fucked, man. Like, your soldiers. These guys right in front of me have saved my life time and time again. Now it's time to kill them.
Right. Yeah, and it has been made even more tragic by all the other shows and material that also touch on Order 66. Like when you play through that in Fallen Order, and when you see it at the end of Clone Wars finally in Season 7, they're just doubling down on how heartbreaking that entire sequence is.
They're doubling their efforts on what?
They're doubling their efforts on heartbreak.
What
It's
other?
crazy. It's fucking.
Is there any other points in Star Wars that hit you like Order 66?
I mean, thinking back of Episode 3 in the theater, Anakin crawling with no limbs on the lava and like screaming,
Same.
"I hate you!" It was
That's
like
20 minutes later in
my
that same movie.
God. That was intense.
That's another that's a good point, because that's another one that I watch over and over now, and it does hit me more and more every time I watch it. It's like,
Yeah.
"You're my brother,"
I know.
and man, it's just blind rage. I hate you.
Kylo in Rise of Skywalker with his dad, his little flashback with his dad.
Yeah, it pulls on your heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Chewie when he gets his medal at the end.
I'll tell you what, Chewie when
reacting
when Han dies.
I was gonna say Chewie when Leia dies.
Yeah, I think when Kylo kills Han and you hear Chewie's roar, like
Yeah.
a roar that we've never heard before.
Oh yeah.
It was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then you obviously see Rey and Finn all sad and upset, but you can't imagine what Chewie's going through. That's like the one guy that he's been with.
And his reaction to Leia hit me harder because like I love Leia as a character. When she passed away, I was like, okay, I kind of knew that was coming. But then it cuts to Chewie just fucking going ballistic about it, and that's what really got me.
It's almost like Han was a shitbox. He was a shitter. Like everybody knows Han's gonna get it at some point. Like even Chewie knows this. It's their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Leia was as a princess. She's an idol. She's this icon. She means more than what she is. You know. She's
right. She's a symbol for the galaxy.
She's a symbol. Thank you. That was what I was looking for. And it's like, you lose more than a princess. You lose more than a general. You lose more than a friend.
Yeah.
It's the collapse of everything. If everything doesn't go right from here, we're fucked because we don't have anything else to fall back on.
Oh man. Now I'm just thinking about all the sad moments in Star Wars.
Yeah, it's sad squad pod. Feeling emotions, my emotions, but it's good, So I've been on this 90s terror. I've been really wanting to watch some 90s like good cinema, and for whatever reason, I was talking to Glass Armor. I was like, I have a violent urge to watch Titanic.
Oh hell yeah.
And I was just, because I was going through these emotions with these reactions of Star Wars, and I was like, what's just a classic, great fucking film? And there's so many parts to Titanic. It's like a drama. It's a tragedy. It's a love story. It's a rom-com at points. It's like a sleuthing criminal. Like this guy's like plotting against him, and there's so much impact. It's just stuff, and it's historical.
Yep.
Like how much can you pack into a movie and do it right and make me, just keep wanting to watch. Yeah, Titanic
a lot when it's 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, two whole VHSs.
I remember that. That was like my
insert.
mind was blown. Like what?
Please insert part 2 for the crash.
Yeah, I had never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Titanic has been high on my list, and I can't find it anywhere. I think it's on Amazon Prime, but I'll have to boot that up.
Yeah, it's probably one of those movies that isn't. It's not just available free right now, just because it's it's so
too
big.
classic. Too classic. It's like Forrest Gump. It's never available. You just got to buy it. You got to buy it.
Speaking of Forrest Gump, I was just in Savannah. Saw that little park where he sits and waits for the bus.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that was. Is that where it was filmed, or is that where it was supposed to take place?
Just the scene when I think that's where Jenny lives at the end when he has a kid, little Forrest. So that whole every time he's at the bus stop, like waiting and kind of narrating his stories, is in that. I think it's called Lafayette Park or Lafayette Square in Savannah.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I never knew that. That's where he was at that narration.
Yeah,
scene.
I didn't know until we went there on vacation like 7 or 8 years ago, and wherever we stayed, they had like a guidebook, and that was a part of it. That's the only way I knew about it. But yeah, wrapping it all around.
Yeah, another classic '90s film. Man, those two and Flubber. That's all I need in my life.
Fucking Flubber, dude.
There's another whole slew of classic films. You talk about Robin Williams. Jesus.
Yeah.
You talk like Mike
Doubtfire.
Myers, Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
You start going through the list, and you're like, Jesus, this is a week full of just classics.
You think? I would say every era has that. I think we're just obviously hyper nostalgic for the 90s.
Do you think?
I do.
Because I feel like the early thousands didn't.
Because if you ask someone that's 10 years older than us, they would list off a million 80s movies that did the same thing. And then if you ask, they'd be talking about Indiana Jones and Back to the Future and Star Wars and this and that.
Yeah, like the same way we felt about.
And the 2000s had like Lord of the Rings and.
Yeah, I guess
stuff.
I was more focused on those like classics and/or like those comedies, I guess. Adam Sandler comedies.
Yeah, I think it changes, and there was a bunch of epic stuff in the early 2000s. Just different people. It all cycles, man.
Yeah. That's one thing that I never knew growing up, but I learned later in life that I shared birthdays with Robin Williams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was my claim to fame over the past 14 years.
You know what? I think this is funny because you were talking about Adam Sandler. I think I share a birthday with Adam Sandler.
No wonder we're destined for
9-9, baby. Adam Sandler.
Wait,
Michael Bublé, Colonel Sanders, Adam Sandler.
Colonel Sanders.
Those are all we got double birthdays. Hugh Grant. All right.
You're on. It doesn't say Commander Cody on there yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Famous
for sharing birthdays with these douchers.
That's my claim to fame. Cheers loudly for Order 66 and shares birthdays with Adam Sandler. It's the only thing I'm in there for. No Country for Old Men, The Departed, Pan's Labyrinth, Avatar, A Beautiful Mind, Inglourious Bastard. Sorry, I'm just going through like best of the 2000s movies. There Will Be Blood, Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. See? You're wrong. Proved you wrong. What were you going to say?
Okay.
What were you going to say?
I was looking at my celebrity birthdays, Robin Williams, but it showed a picture of Natalie Portman.
Oh, really? That's always a good sign.
Yeah. I'm part I'm just part of it, really.
Wait, so are you related to Natalie Portman?
Am I related?
Do you share important dates with her?
Google is Natalie Portman birthday. Google just showed a picture of her June 9th. Yeah, I don't share a birthday with her. I don't know why I showed a picture of her. Oh, well. She's 39. Oh, yeah, by the way, happy birthday, Mark Hamill.
Happy birthday, Mark Hamill.
He turns fucking old last week.
Yeah, what is he, like 60?
69.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought he was like 62 or something.
69. That's not, I mean, no joke. Wait, what the fuck? Hamill, not Harmel.
Hamster.
Hamill age. Yeah, he's 69. Yeah, born in 1951. You know, those fuckers aren't getting younger. Just think about how old he is, and then Harrison Ford is a decade older.
Right.
Decade older. Harrison Ford is 78 right now, so he's almost 10 years older.
Savage. Savages, man.
Billy D is 83.
Speaking of Hamill, did you see that commercial with him and what's his face, Patrick Stewart?
No.
They were duking it out. It was an Uber Eats commercial. It was a little cringe, but a little cute at the same time.
Is he?
Because it was like Patrick Stewart in Star Trek, Hamill, Star Wars, and they were arguing about what they're going to order for dinner, and it's an Uber Eats commercial. Yeah, it's fun.
That's where they're at now, huh? They need Uber Eats money.
It was fun. It was cute.
You know, if I was Mark Hamill, I would just be doing shit for fun, even if it is Uber
exactly.
Eats.
I'm sure that's what he's doing. Uber Eats is probably raking in the cash, man. They're just like, fuck it, just let Luke Skywalker do something for us. Pay him whatever he wants. Millions. It's Luke Skywalker.
Mark, we're not going to pay you for this, but you get to be a character named Cockknocker. Sign me up. Sign me up. Where do I go? How do I sign up?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, like him and oh my God, Leia, Carrie Fisher, him and Carrie Fisher would always do those one-offs, just in funny movies that you'd be like, why is she in here? Mm-hmm. Like Blues Brothers, she was the crazy psychopath girlfriend in the Blues Brothers movie,
God,
and she like had a machine gun and was trying to kill him the whole movie.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Classic, yeah, it's a good point. There was those classic. My mind's going all over the place today.
Yeah.
DNR, they had PC games, and one of them was actually there was two versions of it, but Blues Brothers PC game, and then there was Titus the Fox. They had like 10 little.
Didn't even know such things existed, man.
Oh yeah, I could get you a list. Some classic games, man.
I believe you.
We always played those games over their house.
I just remember not really knowing what PC games were, and I came over and saw you guys playing Dark Forces, and I was like, "What? There's a Star Wars game? The fuck?"
Yeah.
My mind was blown. Because this was pre. I never had anything for Super Nintendo. I wasn't that into Star Wars yet, and then before I got into like Rogue Squadron and Shadows of the Empire, like
that was a little later. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. So in between that gap, it was all the Jedi Knight games on PC, and the only thing I'd ever played on PC was Age of Empires. So I was flabbergasted.
Yeah, it was early on. The first PC game. Well, first of all, the first PC game I ever played was on DOS, and it was a Tom and Jerry game that I used to play on my mom's old work computer. It was a monstrosity of a computer, and when she wasn't working, I would be like, "Can I play the Tom and Jerry game?" Classic, crazy classic. And then when DNR actually got a PC, we started playing a game called One Must Fall, and it was like a Mortal Kombat versus game, just head to head.
Yeah.
But I always remember, like, to get to the game, we had to do like a command on the computer, like enter a command, and it was command OMF. But their dad was just type in oomph, like you're getting punched. And that's how we remembered. Oomph.
Oomph.
One must fall.
Dude, yeah, it was so crazy back on DOS. It was like you had to play a game to figure out how to load the game almost. Yeah. Like you're trying to punch in codes and experiment, and you get it wrong, and try this, try that. It
was like, you had to type in commands, like execute, play, order, all of it.
Execute, order 66, enter.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, man, what a time. What a time to be alive. Speaking of games, pre-orders went live for Xbox. Did you...
For Squadrons? Oh, no, for the Xbox.
For the console. Did you make any attempt to do...
No.
Well, why are you laughing?
Why would I do that?
Because it's the next one. You want to get it.
I'll get it. You know what's funny is I'll still get it.
Probably.
You don't need to take pre-orders.
Well, I guess people are kind of worried, not worried, but they're speculating that they're going to be far less stock than usual because of Corona.
Well, that's Microsoft's issue. Everybody wants to get it and want to go live.
It's your issue if you don't get one.
Not really. I actually don't even have Xbox. I don't even have Xbox Live right now.
Yeah, neither do I.
If
you were to get one, which one would you go for? X or S?
What's big one? The X is the full one with the disc.
Yeah, the big giant honking black box.
See, the issue is I do still have some classic games that are on disc. My Skyrim.
Eventually make that transition to digital though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say. 90% of my games are digital. So, I probably still. I don't know.
Here's the issue I have with it.
The X looks fucking crazy.
They both look pretty slick. The S is super tiny, smaller than the PS4 is right now, which is crazy. The issue with the digital games is like sometimes if things aren't on sale, it's just a full price game. Yeah, like I have Dark Souls 3 on disc, and if I want Dark Souls 3 digital, it's like, oh, it's $59.99. Like,
yep.
Wow.
That's why I haven't pulled the trigger on Skyrim. I've wanted because we both play it. So when she's playing my Skyrim disc, I don't have it. So we can't both play it at the same time, which isn't a huge issue. I'll just play something else. But
no, that's a large issue.
It's actually divorce papers are being filed.
I was gonna say that's worth it.
I prenupped on my Skyrim.
That warrants it.
But yeah, like I try to download Skyrim and it's still $60. I'm just laughing. I was like, one of these times I'm just gonna say fuck it and spend the $60. So they're gonna capitalize on it. But
Yep.
Oh, well, speaking of Skyrim.
Oh.
Huge news.
Oh, yes. This is huge news.
Microsoft is buying out. What was the main company that they're buying? What's the name of the?
Bethesda.
Well, I know it was Bethesda, but there was something that owns or runs Bethesda. But
ZeniMax Media.
ZeniMax, yeah, something like that. So, long and short of it, Bethesda's not going to be available on PS. All of it.
That's crazy.
Or it might be delayed.
Are they? Are you sure? Because they bought Minecraft, and Minecraft's available on everything that there ever has been. It's available on like fucking iPhone 2.
Well, at least they'll have the control.
Yeah.
They might. I was kind of thinking like, why would you not want to capitalize on the PlayStation profits?
Right.
Which maybe they would, but pre-orders, special editions, all that stuff. They'll be like, nope, that's Xbox exclusive. You better buy that big old box, baby.
Xbox exclusive.
That's why I murder younglings.
I go to high school.
Master Skywalker. Done.
I want to play Minecraft. No, that's awesome. That's surprising. I mean, as Xbox users and fans of Bethesda, that's great for us.
Oh, absolutely. And hopefully
I was surprised at the price tag, man. They said it was more than what they paid for Minecraft, which is crazy because Minecraft is like the best-selling game of all time ever, forever.
But there's so many titles that they're absorbing with the Bethesda name.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Yeah, and you like also, yeah, the brand of the whole Elder Scrolls universe is big.
Well, that
and Fallout,
Mass Effect, Fallout.
Not Mass Effect.
Mass Effect's not Bethesda?
No.
What am I thinking?
BioWare,
thank you.
Got slipped up by the bees.
Bethesda. I'm gonna look up Bethesda here.
Yeah, look at the titles. I mean, those are the big ones. They've also, I think they're doing all of the new Doom games.
So we've got the Elder Scrolls, obviously, Fallout, the Evil Within games, Wolfenstein games, Dishonored is a big one.
Wolfenstein, yep.
Quake. Let's see if we can't get like an actual list here. Yeah, so all the Fallouts.
Yeah, the Doom reboot is them as well.
Yeah, I mean, long and short of it, they just purchased a lot of fucking titles, and Fallouts. Even though Fallout 76 didn't really hit right, they could just keep pushing it the same way they're pushing the Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls stuff.
Yeah,
it's the same equal opposite. You can do different cities. That's the great thing about Fallouts. It's just choose another city, make a slightly different character or storyline, and fucking go at it. I was thinking the other day, if they made like a Louisiana bayou Fallout and have like rad crocodiles and shit coming at you.
Oh yeah,
that would be wicked. Because the whole bug aspect of Fallout 4 was always crazy.
That'd be crazy.
Legendary boat flies coming flying at you.
Mm-hmm.
But to have like crocs popping up and that sort of thing, that'd be pretty cool. A little more tropical.
Yeah, man. There's so many options. I guess the question is, and we'll be wondering the same thing, like we talked about Squadrons last week, and about many franchises, is do they build a solid foundation and then release new content for the game for like 6 years, or do they always have to do a new game? Because Fallout 76 had very, very bad press. I never played it, and I've heard it's gotten better, but the problem is like, how long do you stick with the game and just like hope that the developer's going to fix it?
Well, Battlefront, we
stuck with it, yeah, but that was also like we're Star Wars fans and that's the only Star Wars game, so like we really don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I think with Bethesda fans or Fallout fans, it's a little different. I mean, people can just go back to Fallout 4 and play that instead.
Yeah. That is the luxury of the open world and the options, the RPG aspect of it. Go back and play the old game and make a completely different character. That's why we go back to KOTOR all the time. KOTOR is not open world at all, and we still go back because of the RPG aspects.
Yeah. A lot of elements, man.
It'd be cool.
Things
also,
combine.
Yeah. What also would be cool in a Fallout game is going all the way down to the south and like the even if you did it like in Florida or something a little more tropical, and have like plants that are alive and trying to kill you in certain areas because they're radiated and mutated and just fucked.
Yeah.
That'd just be interesting. They could do
crazy like radiation tropical storms.
Well, they already have tropical thunderstorms in Fallout 4. The lightning gives you rads.
Shit.
It's fucking insane. It's
I never played it.
crazy.
I never played it, man.
You've never played Fallout 4?
I think I did the intro. I made a character. It did maybe like 90 minutes, but that was about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you come across a radiation storm and it's insane. Dude, it's like a very misty, like you can't see anything. And everything glows green and the lightning strikes. You should hear the sound. You should just go to YouTube and listen to a radiation storm. The lightning strikes are crazy sounding.
I might have to.
It's very concerning when you're running around with a bucket on your head. Quite literally, you're running around with...
sometimes in Fallout, I found a bucket, I cut a little hole, eye slit.
Yeah.
And then stuck it on top of my dome.
+5 resistance, so I picked it up. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, -5 intelligence. I don't know why. I don't know why it gives you bad intelligence. I would love to hear some of that shit. Speaking of sound design things, I got the new AirPods, and they have surround sound, but they do it in such a way where it's called spatial audio, and if you enable it, it takes your position into account. So like if your phone's in front of you, it knows that the sound source is in front of you, and if you turn your head, all of the sound it sticks with you wherever the source is, which is crazy. So I turned on like the throne room scene in Last Jedi, and I was just looking at it and then like turning my head and moving around, and like you can hear all the sound change positions. It's so crazy. So cool.
But it's just based off your phone?
Well, it's based off wherever you're playing the media from. So if I'm watching it on my phone, you leave your phone stationary, and it keeps the sound source there. And you move your head around. It's cool.
That's cool. Cool technology. But I'm wondering, like, what's the use of that?
Well, it's bringing like 5.1 and 7.1 surround sound to just earbuds.
Yeah, but you don't move. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to experience it. Experience. What's the we can jump into squadrons too. So we're like 4 days away, man.
I gotta buy it first. I gotta spend $40 whole on it.
$40. Yeah,
man, do you remember back in the day when video games were actually like $30, $40?
I don't, because I was thinking that one day and I looked it up and that was disproven. That was a myth in my brain. Because I feel like I remember when we went to buy Battlefront 2 on Xbox on the day after Halloween in 2000 whatever. It was $50 or $60.
Yeah,
games were full price. And
I was talking like N64 and Game Boy. I remember Game Boy games were, I think the most were $40, but they did like Pokemon you could get for like $30.
Huh.
Because I remember N64 games were like $39.99.
Well, I'm gonna look this up because I feel like I checked it once and I was wrong because I thought the same thing and I was like, N64 games used to be super cheap.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. First party Nintendo 64 games were $59.99. Maybe I'm just thinking of the deals of the day, like the ads that you would get for like Christmas. $39.99 for Mario.
Dude, those fucking Toys R Us booklets that you got before Christmas.
KB Toys.
God, that was the jam, dude. I just sit around Thanksgiving Day and just circle everything. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. So here's an article from RetroVolve. Let me share this shit with y'all. Boom. Safari share. Source is from ads in old magazines. So here's like Killer Instinct Gold was new list price at $79.99.
Jesus Christ.
Star Fox $79, Turok $69, GoldenEye $69. So it looks like they were actually more. They were more expensive.
Where are they selling this shit? That's not right. I shouldn't say it based on the N64 stuff because I never bought an N64 game in my life.
Yeah.
But $59.99 Legend of Zelda.
That's crazy. Because I feel like Even with inflation, you'd think that new games would be like $100, but the prices stayed the same. That's crazy.
Well, also, they're not making physical copies anymore. They can charge $60 and just you download the info.
Yeah, but even when they were, man.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It is interesting. Well, I mean, of course, special editions, they are $100, but.
Well, let's go back one generation. Game cost in USD system launch year. So Super Nintendo said between 50 and 60. I can't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That is crazy.
Well,
everything's $60. No matter what you want. If you want to play a fucking game, it's $60. That's what we're getting at. Is it 1982? It's $60, bitch. Hand it over. Mario's worth it.
So yeah, I mean, we're in a weird state where like there's so many games and so many options. People don't want to spend $60 on a game. So now we've dropped the price to $40. But in order for them to make any money and allow them to keep developing stuff and putting out new content, they have to make up the difference. And the way they've been doing that is with microtransactions and cosmetics and all that kind of stuff. So it's just weird. If they're going to keep a game alive, they have to be like, well, here's these 10 skins, but if you want all 20 skins, you have to pay an additional $5 to unlock it. Or
do you want to beat the game?
$15 for crystals and buy your cosmetics that way.
If you want to beat the game, that'd be $15, bitch. Hand it over. Ammo, unlimited. What do you want?
Yeah, what's your opinion on that? What do you think? Like, you can still beat the game. You can do everything. You're not blocked off from things, but certain cosmetics and upgrades and whatnot are going to cost actual money. Optional.
When you're talking about multiplayer games, yeah, that's bullshit. That's just straight bullshit. But if there is, you see where I'm going with this is, I like the mod stuff that people can do. Fuck the developers; they're so limited. Even though they can make it official and make it nice and smooth. Man, the aftermarket in mods. You go to Skyrim and you can have fucking Macho Man Randy Savage as dragons. Like, no one gives a shit. And that's what and that's what we talked about several episodes ago. Like, put the fucking Bill Clinton in my NBA Jam and let's fucking rock and roll. Let's do it. That's what the mods do for us, and they're free. Because nerds out there want to do the shit, and it's wacky, and no one else wants to. Because if the developers do it, then we got to pay for it.
Well, I guess the problem is you have all the issues with you don't know how it's going to affect the actual game and the performance.
Right.
Because if you open that door, especially in a multiplayer game, you have people modding like stats. You're going to have issues with people like they're basically cheating because they're changing their stats.
Yeah.
Brennan actually says Squadrons will have no microtransactions and all cosmetics are earned through gameplay.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like, you can earn them all through gameplay, but you can also spend money and like upgrade them right away. I would imagine. That's my guess. Because that's what happened in Battlefront. Even when they took away all the like hero unlocks and microtransactions, like you can still work towards this skin, or you can just pay X amount of dollars to unlock it right now with crystals.
Crystals. Kaiba crystal. Heart of Kaiba.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I am excited for it though. So I'll be out of town again this weekend, so I can't play right when it comes out. But I'll be excited as soon as we get back to we're gonna have a Rogue Squadron for real. Finally, after so many years,
dude. If it comes out, it comes out next weekend or this weekend. This week,
Friday. So I'm assuming Thursday at midnight.
Oh hell yeah, I'm downloading it for $40.
Yeah.
What is your thought on companies not making hard copies anymore? What if they only release digitally? Saves so much money. It saves so much fucking.
It saves them money. It saves you as a user hassle. Trying to. I remember going to when we would always game together. We would go to some person's house, like a different place every weekend. So you pack out all your shit up, and then you have to bring all your copies of your discs. Every once in a while, you would forget one, then you can't play. It was a pain in the ass. So I'm pro digital. If I'm able to get the Xbox One S, I plan on doing that one and doing all digital. So I'm a fan.
It is nice if you are traveling by any means that you don't have to bring all the shit with you,
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing with movies. If you want to go, travel a lot. Even as a kid, if you wanted to take some movies with you, you're like, fuck, I got to take all this shit with me. That's why you throw away all the DVD cases and throw it in one sleeve. You know,
Right.
the packs that you can kind of just have all your DVDs. But
Yeah.
I've always had hard copies growing up, like CDs and all that stuff. I still have a lot of that shit. I even have a full DVD case downstairs. Packed. It's fucking packed.
Well, yeah, just because you did have it, you're not going to just randomly get rid of them all, or maybe you will.
Yeah.
I'm pro digital. I don't. The only movies I buy are very special ones like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or like Interstellar and stuff like that. I think there's some special Marvel Cinematic Universe box set that's coming out or has come out. I wouldn't mind having that. It's more collector's edition stuff though for me. I don't even watch them.
For a dork like you.
I watch all the Star Wars stuff on Disney Plus, but I also buy the Blu-ray so I have it, in case the world explodes.
What a time! What a time to be alive. Remember way back in the day when you wanted to watch a Disney movie and you just couldn't, and now you're just like, oh yeah, let me click, boom, there it is. What do you want? You want the special edition? You want the one with tits? We got different options.
With or without commentary. There's a documentary included. We got extra behind the scenes content, featurettes. It's all there.
You know what movie holds up? Shrek.
I know Shrek is like a meme king, so I see memes with Shrek all the time, but I haven't watched them in a while, and I had the urge the other day. Which one did you rewatch?
Just the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic. So good. Fucking good.
There's 3, right?
I think there's 5, to be honest.
15
I think there's
Shreks. 5. That's the real franchise. Star Wars is nothing.
Shrek Strikes Back. Shrek Strikes Back.
Shrek is back.
Revenge.
Yeah,
of the
I mean, fucking
Toadstools.
yes. What's his face? Mike Myers, hilarious.
Yeah.
Shrek, I'm a donkey, Shrek. Sorry. I was trying to figure out how many there are. How many are there? I can't find it. I think there's just 2.
No.
Oh,
I'm
Shrek
not.
Shrek 3D.
No, you're an idiot. Shrek, Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, Shrek Forever After, and Shrek 5.
God damn, who am I? I am not young Jamie, that's for sure. I can't look shit up.
I just searched Shrek movies and Google listed them all out.
Okay, so I've seen 1 and 2. The third one I've never seen, and the 4th and 5th one I've obviously never even heard of.
The 4th one's out. I think Shrek 5. It looks like it doesn't even have a date, so it might not even be released, or it might be fake.
And then you have that offshoot with the cat.
Oh,
Puss in Boots. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a weird name.
Yeah.
Such a weird name. Anyways, yeah. Shrek.
That's our Shrek rant. Shrek crashed.
Shrek Squadron.
Classics. Any other Star Wars? Oh, did you hear Keira Knightley forgot who she was in Star Wars? It's like no.
She was.
She forgot what character she played. Supposedly she thought she played Padme, and you're like, no, you played the handmaiden that was playing Padme.
Dude, everyone who watched that movie the first time didn't know who played what.
I still have no idea, honestly.
they had no fucking clue. I didn't know until like 5 years ago all the details of who Keira Knightley was versus Natalie Portman and Padme and the Queen and Sabe and all the handmaidens. They all look the same. They're all fucking clones of each other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame her. It was 100 years ago. There's 14 Pirates movies that she was a part of that were twice as much better.
And she was 11 when she did that.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah,
come on, man.
Yeah.
Are people mad about it?
Yeah, well, that was the news of the day for Star Wars. Like I was Googling it and it was like, oh my gosh, she forgot. I'm like, yeah, I would have too. I don't know, fuck it. She's like, I saw the movie once. It was okay. I was like, I don't blame you.
So actually, I'm actually doubting my knowledge right now. So her role is technically Sabe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know there's like 14 handmaidens and they all look very close to one another.
Because Sabe's the one in the queen's robes. She plays, but that's probably why she was confused. She's wearing the queen's robes, but she's the handmaiden, right?
Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. That is correct, but my issue is always they do that when they get captured. But I'm always wondering at the beginning of the movie, how many times is Natalie Portman actually the queen before they switch roles? You know what I mean?
I can never tell the difference when they're in makeup.
Oh, it's so confusing. Kira. I'm looking on IMDb. Kira. Wow, she's not even in the full list. God damn, give me the full list, please.
What a weird name, Kira.
Yes, it says Sabe. Is her actual her name. All right, so I got it kind of right. Sasha, Iane, Irte, Rabe. Those are all the handmaidens.
Yeah, it's literally on CNN. Keira Knightley forgets who she played in Star Wars. It's like, who gives a shit? You know what's funny is the picture they have is it's of both of them. Never mind. Yeah, Natalie Portman. Huh. Well, you got to think who was playing the handmaiden in episode 2 at the very beginning who dies. You know?
I don't remember.
I don't think that was Kira. That was just another.
They tricked us. They got it. The Nubians know what they're doing. They tricked even the fans.
They knew being.
I don't. Oh my god.
We just
yeah. I have no idea. I have no recollection.
Yeah.
So that's it. Episode 1. Phantom Menace.
Just of it. That's just of it.
I can't believe that's news.
It isn't. It really isn't. And we're talking about it. That's how trash we are,
dude. I honestly hate that. I hate the fact that that's news, and I hate even more the fact that I want to talk about how much I hate it. You know what I mean? Like,
no
I get
news
so
is
mad
terrible.
that people like put clickbait as ways to get clicks on their site and blah blah blah. But I hate even more the fact that I just sit there complaining about it, and now I'm directing people over to look at it and to click on it.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with me?
Oh, let's jump into the elegant weapon for a more civilized age.
A more civilized age.
Do you want to share it?
If you have it pulled up, go for it. If not, I'll pull it up.
I'll do it. It's right here. It's right here. Don't. So this is actually on StarWars.com.
Hell yeah.
It's called an elegant weapon. It's basically just a rendering. Actually, it looks like they almost made a digital little copy here.
Nice.
Of one of the High Republic Jedi's lightsabers. And they discuss kind of the idea behind it, and that it's based off of Excalibur.
Yeah.
That was their vision, Excalibur. So taking a kind of a quick look at it, it's kind of a cool design, man. It's very Kylo-esque.
Yeah, it's got the cross guard. If you're just listening, go to StarWars.com and check it out.
Cross guard, but it folds up.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting.
It's like a lightsaber to go.
And there was a quote there from the designer that was saying, "We love the cross guard idea, but didn't like the way that it was." What does he say? The way that it was sheathed.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really sheath. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
Scroll down just like a little bit.
The cross guard thing is cool. I don't know. Is it necessary to have the laser beam on the cross guard?
Right here, the practicality of holstering or sheathing it nagged at me until I had the idea that the cross guard didn't have to be stationary. So when you activate the lightsaber, the cross guard kind of unfolds, and it creates that second and third beam down there. I mean, you're diving into the entire, basically all of 2014 was Star Wars fans complaining about Kylo Ren's lightsaber. Because we didn't understand the cross guard and why it did this and why it worked. I mean, it's like not exactly practical, because if you're defending against a lightsaber, I feel like if the lightsaber hits that part of the hilt that's extended, then it's gonna damage it. But it's also Star Wars, so it doesn't.
You know what?
Really matter.
I have an idea.
Tell me.
Let's not make it a single beam. If they really want to do this crossguard shit, no, listen, hear me out. If you're really going for an actual sword look, let's make fuck it. They'll make the reasoning behind it, the technology behind it, and how it works on the back end. But creatively, make the beam start the entire crossguard, and then it slowly, you know what I'm talking about, just like a full like a sword. So it's not just like a straight beam out of the pipe, the handle. Make the beam start way out here on the cross guards, and then slowly get thinner and thinner towards a point.
Oh, so it's like a big giant triangle?
Yes.
That would look so ugly.
But that's the idea, because it's classic and it looks more like a sword. This looks like a laser.
Yeah, but you're talking like
Look,
a
you just
fucking
put
He-Man
crossguards.
sword.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be the type in He-Man sword, and let's see how ugly that looks, please.
Look, man, I'm just saying from a
Certain
creative
point of view.
standpoint, if you were going hundreds of years back in time, He-Man sword.
I think that's what He-Man sword looks like.
Yeah, so something along this. Whoa. Yeah, I mean this is a terrible rendering of it, but yeah, so the beam would start way out here and get down at dinner.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of like a battle sword. I don't know, great sword.
I guess the problem is they're trying to make sense of the fact that there's a device that emits the blade, so that has to be factored in, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool. I like the idea. I just don't like the execution of it. It's cool. Look, as long as the dude holding it's a badass, I don't really give a shit, to be honest, because it is different. It's unique, and that's one of the cool things about Star Wars is, especially about Jedi, is they all can be very unique under one religious temple, under one thing, that they can kind of bring out their individualities.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how they explain it. I mean, what you touched on was kind of the reason why listening to Doug Chiang talk about the design is so interesting is like all the artists get together and it's like, what is cool? What are we going to do? What's unique? How are we going to set this era of Star Wars apart from the other ones? And then the writers have to come in and like, oh, I love that design. Now we need to, come up with a backstory for why it makes sense and come up with technology that actually has it make sense in context. Yeah, so I'll be curious to see if there's like an art of the High Republic or the Ultimate Guide or the Visual Dictionary for the High Republic. Mm-hmm. I'd be really curious to see a book like that.
Let's really get into what I want to talk about.
It's not crossguard lightsabers. It's 2014.
The costume design in Star Wars. So I know we always talk about like.
In all of Star Wars?
Yeah, just in general. Like, I like all the different types. Even
Princess Leia.
All the wares, man.
Wear this white curtain, and that's it.
Wear this white curtain. Now put on a bikini. Done. That's all you need to wear.
That's it.
No, I really like the fashion design behind it and the decisions that go into it. From like the Queen Amidala, like her.
So good.
That influence. Like it's obviously an Eastern influence. Mm-hmm. The makeup on the face, like, and then the full dress, the headwear. It's so cool and so unique, but that brings out a lot of culture behind it. You like there's something in your mind that's triggered when you see that. You're like, oh, there's like a lot of X or Y, Z, fill in the blanks behind that because that's the way they are.
Yeah. Yeah, it adds backstory. It's like adding backstory to Naboo without having to explain anything.
Yeah, there's depth. There's depth to that culture just by wearing certain things.
Yeah.
But even outside of that,
Same with the Mandalorian armor.
Yeah.
You see Boba Fett. That's, I think, and we talked about why is Boba Fett coming back and why is he so interesting. But that's a big part of it is just how he looks. Like, seeing his armor evokes a certain kind of character backstory. Mm-hmm. You don't have to know a single thing about it. You don't know his name. You don't even hear him talk barely. But just seeing him look like a badass is like, oh yeah, I'm intrigued by this guy, this son of a bitch.
You know what's really good for how the original trilogy, there's a lot of things in the original trilogy that feel very 70s. The costume design, while there's bits and pieces sprinkled in there that are like Aunt Beru's.
Sorry, man. I'm just going. Keep
Aunt
going.
Beru's collar, how it's like about 6 full inches on each side, is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. But in general, like the costume design holds up, I think, fairly well. With everything considered, from the 70s, at least obviously the original one. Like the Han Solo pirate-esque look, like that holds up.
Yes. Sorry, the reason I was laughing as you said that is because I just have a memory of one of the times watching A New Hope and just looking at all the freak bitches around Docking Bay 94 when Han Solo is like waiting for them to show up, and just thinking of like, oh my God, they pulled wardrobe from like some pirate movie and some monster movie, and they just threw it on these guys and told them to stand around and look intimidating.
Oh yeah.
It's so funny.
Just look thuggish.
Let me see if I can find this actual scene, and then pull it up.
But what's maybe some of your favorite costumes? Like,
oh yeah, because it's not in the despecialized. Sorry, I was looking at the despecialized. Go ahead.
What's some of your favorite costumes?
You're throwing in like armor and droid design and everything, or like specifically like outfits?
I was thinking more outfits, but you can.
I mean, I am intrigued at how cool the Jedi look when it's just 2 fucking shades of tan.
Really?
It's too bad. Like it, when you really break it down, especially when you see like a cross section of Luke's outfit from A New Hope, it's like, this is so silly, but for some reason, it just works. I don't know. It just does it for me.
Yeah, I mean, it does scream like a simplistic lifestyle that you don't need anything lavish. Very monkish, like leave possessions behind.
Yep.
Obi-Wan kind of is the pinnacle Jedi, and that's all he wears. Tan and brown. That's all we need.
Yep.
You know,
When
we get to business, we take the brown off.
Don't want to attract any attention.
Slice up some droids. I wonder how many cloaks he's lost. I got to fight. Let me take this thing off. Where did I put that down at?
You want to see my real favorite outfits in Star Wars? All right,
Here we
look at this guy. This guy is like, they took some weird altar boy outfit and stuck him in that.
Yeah.
You got 17 Rhodians. My favorite is this fucking 70s pirate asshole over here.
Yeah.
Hang on. We got to get a close-up on this dude with his... Oh, dude, look at this guy.
Yeah.
It's like Kramer in an awkward hood. I don't understand what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I mean, this is that deleted scene where he's talking to Jabba on Tatooine in Episode 4. There's
yes,
a pirate
but
hooker.
This guy. Yes,
Dude,
the pirate hooker.
Dude, his
He's
goggles.
got Razzmatazz goggles on there. They made goggles out of a disco ball, and he just gave him the largest shirt in Alice Cooper's wardrobe and some vest.
Oh my God, how many items does he have to carry with him? We need a pocket for each.
And he does not, and it's just all just beautifully touched off by that mustache. It really just pulls the whole outfit together. That is a woman's shirt.
That's something.
That is a woman's shirt.
It's either a woman's shirt or a bed sheet.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it.
He's ready for war, though. He's got his hand on the pistol there.
That's my favorite outfit in Star Wars by far.
They made goggles out of a disco ball. That's funny. Shit. One of my favorite costumes is Luke in Episode 6. The sleek black, the down to business,
yes,
the know what I'm fucking doing. Like get out. I'm no longer fuckboy 73. This is I'm here.
Fuckboy 73. I want to know how far into production they changed Luke not turning to the dark side, because I wonder if they're like. If they nixed that and then they kept the outfit because it was badass, or if they were already like halfway through the movie and they changed it and they're like, oh, Luke's the savior of the galaxy, but we just have to keep him in this all black because we already shot half the movie.
You know,
because those are some of the greatest moments in Star Wars, are just like happy production accidents that happen.
You know, if looking back, you see him slip to the dark side at the end of Episode 5 where he's swinging savagely.
Episode 6
at Vader. Oh, it is. Yeah. Well, he's swinging like an idiot in Episode 5 on Bespin.
Right, but not out of anger, just out of
frustration.
Inexperience.
Yeah, leads to anger, leads to cutting people. No, I think that's what I was gonna say, Brennan. Thank you. He does choke the pig boys. So it's like,
well, no, he mind tricks them into making them think they're being choked because he's a good guy.
Yeah, but what's the difference? Let me ask you, what's the fucking difference? You think you're being choked. I'm dying. Like, but the difference is,
I'm gonna mind trick you into me murdering you.
The difference is, I'm just gonna murder you in the next scene with my lightsaber instead of doing it now.
Yes.
Wait till I start swinging away, baby.
Yeah.
Pig heads are rolling.
Jesus. Mark McGuire up on the fucking skiff.
Mark McGuire.
Why is he related to Arnold?
Mark McGuire.
It's Arnold with the speech impediment. Mark McGuire, Jedi Knight.
Jedi Knight. Where should we? It's yeah. Other. I really like the Ray's costumes throughout.
Oh yeah,
They
Hundo.
stuck 100% to her scavenger-ness and just kind of built upon that what she knew.
Yeah, love
Very
it.
cool.
Yeah, I like her little all white with the hood in episode 9.
Yeah.
Very nice.
The
Kylo
other-
Ren's always a fucking badass.
Get
out!
The other one that I really, really like is the Hoth pilot suit. Those orange, the obnoxious orange ones.
Yeah.
May sound stupid, but I actually do. I like the colors, man. I like the.
Well, that's
the
all
design.
X-wing pilot suits, right? It's just orange. Like it's basically like a hazmat suit without the hood.
It's a hazmat suit without the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's what all of that is. They're like, what's laying around the set here? Just take that, cut the top off of it, and put a helmet on them. That's how they did it back in the day. All of the clothing design, costume design in Solo, I think is fucking awesome. All of Han's outfits look amazing.
You know what I do like is the mud skulls.
Lando looks awesome. All the fucking I almost said clans. That's not what they are. All of the different syndicates look awesome. Dryden Voss looks sweet. Yeah. Savage.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like the design behind stuff, and I think the prequels really did it really well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think they pushed boundaries. The fact that you have to plug Padme's suit into the wall because there's so many orbs on the bottom of it. You seen that? Have you seen that scene where she's standing there? She's supposed to be crying, but she's plugged into the wall, so she can't cry too far away from the wall. This whole entire scene happens about 6 feet away from this wall, so stand over there, please.
Hey, but it was a practical wall. It was a real set. They actually built that wall.
Yeah.
And that's not a CGI wall.
I wonder where all that hate came from. Maybe it's from Jar Jar. People just didn't like Jar Jar that much up front, and because he was CGI, they just thought, blop.
I'm telling you, it's 100% generational.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
Well, look.
You know how I feel like our age of Star Wars fans are helping bring back the prequels in a good light.
Mm-hmm.
Like prequel memes is obviously an amazing subreddit, but like the prequels are generally they're good now, and I don't know. I hesitate to say that part of that is because those same fans hate the sequels so much that they're just like making the prequels seem better than they actually are. But I think that the hate has kind of died away. In 15 years, the same thing is going to happen with the sequel trilogy.
Well, it's just because the kids that grow up.
Right, exactly. Everyone that loves it is now like on Twitter talking about Star Wars all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guarantee the same thing's going to happen with the sequels in 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
Not that the sequels are... I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know if you can really tell until like the dust settles and you look back and just get a better overall sense of if these movies are loved or hated.
Well, let me ask you, because we always do our list, but let's simplify it, which makes it more difficult. List the trilogies. Your favorite to least favorite.
That's really difficult to do.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of lists that I make, it changes depending on what mood I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, I'm going to say...
I'm going to be ballsy here. I'm just saying that.
See, it's hard to rank. I want to say...
Because the movies, you're like, if you took your top movies, they're all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Like 7, 5, 2, 7, 4, 4, 4, and 4.
I'm like that meme of the woman trying to do the physics in her head. My gut wants to say prequels, sequels, originals.
Mm-hmm.
But as I think harder about it, I almost want to say sequels, originals, prequels, but only because that's the kind of mood I'm in.
Completely
I know, but right now I'm like thinking a lot about Rey and Kylo Ren. I'm thinking about the newer movies. I'm thinking about Rise of Skywalker.
And then you got to throw in the one-offs. Like, where do they stand in the grand scheme?
Yeah. And then you got to say like prequels, spin-offs, sequels. I don't know. What are you thinking in your ranking terms?
Up front, prequels, original trilogy, sequels. Right, chronologically.
Interesting.
I watch. See, that's
so the whole saga gets less and less interesting as it goes on.
Yeah,
everything in chronologically. I mean.
Look. I like the sequels. I like them a lot. They're very good. There's a lot of aspects to them that are great. But in the grand scheme of things, would I rather watch episode 3, 6, or 9? It's not even close. 3, 1, 4, or 7. That one's a little closer. 1 or 7.
Usually not 4.
Usually not 4, but 4's good, for what it is, So it's like it does jump around. Now 2 is the weakest link in the prequels, but 8's also probably the weakest link in the sequels from a certain point of view. 5 is the greatest of the, you're all over the place. So
this is where I love and hate our rankings, because there is no true answer, and it does change over time, and it also changes over the mood that we're in. Squadrons is going to come out. It's right at the end of Return of the Jedi. It's all Empire and Republic, or Empire and Rebellion. So I'm probably going to be in more of an original trilogy mode when that comes out and through the end of the year, just because that's the high focus. But then I'll get, we'll switch it up. I'll go back to the prequels, rewatch all those, and jump back into Battlefront, and then I'll be back in prequel zone. So it changes, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Leave your thoughts.
Send
us a letter that has your ranking listed out backwards, and we'll read it on the show.
I don't want to be a hate boy, but the sequel trilogy has been slipping a little bit. In the grand scheme of things, especially just like we started the show off with that the reactions to the films.
Mm-hmm.
It just really, the prequels did a lot better at creating emotion around everything. They build this stuff. Now the script is a little clunky, and the acting's it's all over the place. You can't pinpoint everything, but it's.
You think the prequels did better at building up emotion? Is that what I heard you just say?
I don't know. I don't know really what I mean by that, because certain characters, you look at Rey, there's not a lot of emotional connection with me and the character of Rey. Now Kylo, there's a lot. There's a lot to relate with. And I think Kylo's a lot more relatable, just bare bones. But you look at Luke, and I think Luke's much more relatable than Rey. I don't know. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is.
See, I feel like all I have to do is doubt that I love the storyline of the sequels, watch it, and I'll talk myself out of everything. I'll sit here and talk about how, the sequels are slipping, and I don't really connect with Rey, and this and that and the other thing, and then I'll just go watch 7, 8, and 9, and I'll just recant everything I said.
Yeah, I've never really felt strongly about Rey.
Maybe you have. Maybe you just haven't watched them in a while.
Rey, Finn, and Poe. Look, they're cool characters. I appreciate them. I'm glad they exist in the Star Wars universe. But when we're looking at grand scheme of things, I'm definitely taking Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme over those 3. I'm definitely taking Luke, Leia, and Han over those 3. But that's not saying it's trash. It's not.
That's the other hard part too. Is Star Wars fan, Star Wars podcast. What are your favorite trilogies? Oh, all 3 of them are tied for first.
Yeah, tied for first, and then Solo's a close first too.
And Rogue One is second first.
It's the first of the second first.
Second first.
Second first.
It's a favorite too. Second favorite.
Yeah, it's that's the wonderful thing about Star Wars. Depending on the mood, you can but sequel trilogy, there is always a small little asterisk for me. Mm-hmm. I don't, I could be even in the mood. I love episode 7. I watch it constantly. Episode 8, I thought was better than most people. Episode 9, they did what they did. I thought it was ballsy, but I definitely think they left a lot on the table that they could have done with the entire sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
and how it flowed, and the storylines, and the creation, and the building of the characters. But I think a lot of it was assumed. A lot of the character creation was assumed, or built in comics. beforehand or whatever. Like we talk about Poe.
Yeah,
he
the
struggles
problem is
with
that-
being a leader, but that outside of that, he's just a cocky dickhead. And you're like, well, you know, Han was also a cocky dickhead, but Han obviously didn't know what the fuck he was doing, and there was a lot more character building.
Yeah, but I mean, how much are you gonna squeeze into a? That sounds weird to say, but like, how much screen time of Poe developing as a character are you gonna squeeze into a movie?
Well, and that's
because even if you think about Luke in 5, it's like he's there with Yoda. Yoda's dropping knowledge. Luke isn't really getting it because he's a fucking moron. It's not until the end of the movie when he loses to Vader does he actually make sense of it. And then you look back and you're like, oh, he lost. Now he's reflecting on all that, all of his training. He wants to go back and finish everything with Yoda. Okay, that makes sense. There's the payoff there.
You know, the nice thing that they did do with the sequels is, you know, and maybe it was at a loss for Poe and Rey, those character developments, because they focus so much on Kylo. And we always ask for movies to be wrapped around a dark side character, and maybe we should open our goddamn eyes because we've got a sequel trilogy that's wrapped around Kylo.
Yeah.
And he is, I mean, I think there's more character building behind him. There's more screen time built behind him. And there's more emotional investment. His dad, his mom, you know, his grandfather, his struggle, his Snoke, and the Emperor returning. It's all wrapped around Kylo. While I do think the main character is Rey, Kylo has more character development built behind him. There's more family ties. There's more everything built behind him.
There's a stronger foundation for sure. I mean, we were arguing about the fact that they changed Rey's story, backstory so many times, and how that kind of affected the character in the film. I think it ended up fine, but yeah, I would agree with you that did kind of affect things. Whereas Kylo Ren is like, we know that he is very strong in the Force. We know that he trained with Luke. We know that his parents are Han and Leia. There's so many aspects there that like that isn't going to change. They can't just all of a sudden say like, oh, he's actually not Han and Leia's kid. Like those roots are planted in 7 and they stick through the entire trilogy. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We just have a lot more to go on with him, I guess.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. And I think they got equal focus, but I think it's just easier for people to connect. I don't want to say connect with emotionally with Kylo, but like to latch onto him as a character because it's a little more familiar, I guess.
Well, his struggles are also like apparent, direct, like they're obvious struggles. He struggles with his family ties. He struggles with being good enough for Snoke and or trying to take over for Snoke. He struggles with, I mean, it's just everything in front of him, killing his family.
Right.
You know, it's all that. And then we look at Rey and you're like, she struggles with not knowing her last name.
I mean, don't discount.
Look, I know I simplified it.
I
simplified it.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing.
It's there. Not knowing who she is, having a shitty life as a scavenger, not knowing who her parents, having some memories of her parents, but then they got killed.
It's funny because we don't. Maybe I don't know. It's a similar story as Luke, but I mean, I feel like maybe it's like their struggles became strengths in the future very quickly. Like she was climbing around, hopping around Starkiller Base 20 minutes after she was dusting bits and pieces out of the sand, and you're like, well, obviously that worked out for her,
right? She got that training in. At least she didn't have a grappling hook.
Well, that's.
How many times did Luke swing across a fucking chasm in the Dune Sea with the grappling hook that he was trained in in those ways?
Yep. Got to clean the sand out of your ears. Got to get rid of it. I despise sand. Sand sucks.
It's the worst. It's really, really unfortunate.
You know what's even worse?
I was actually just on the beach and
wet
I
sand.
loved sand.
Wet sand, cringy.
It's cringy.
Wet sand is cringy.
Why is that?
I hate wet sand.
Why do you hate the beach?
Because sand you can kind of just brush off. Wet sand, it's like it's clumpy. It gets everywhere. It's wet.
But you know what actually I don't hate about the beach and sand is like by the time you walk back to your car, the sand is dried and then you just brush your feet off and then get back in your car. You're good.
Yeah. Good point.
Rough and cringy and irritating, and it gets most places.
It gets a few places.
Is that the quote? Is that Star Wars?
Oh, so.
All right. Well, everybody pre-order Squadrons. and we'll figure out how this cross-platform thing works. We can wrangle up an actual Rogue Squadron, and we'll get some 5-on-5 action in here this weekend.
Yeah, I now that you said that, yeah, I get paid on Thursday. I'm doubling down. I'm buying three of them. Fuck it.
Buying 2 digital copies for no reason.
For no reason.
Just in
I'm
case.
buying another Xbox and to get another digital copy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
super hyped. Yeah, I think this release is gonna say a lot. Let me just say that.
Yeah. God damn! Did we not say the same thing about Fallen Order?
Yeah, but they
delivered.
They did deliver from a certain point of view. They did
delivered.
exactly what they should have done.
Yeah,
You know,
they did exactly what they set out to do.
storyline and everything. Now, they can learn from it. But
But this is the next multiplayer game after Battlefront.
The customization aspect of this is key, and I want to make my ship, and I want to blow your ship up with my ship.
No, we're on the same team. We're gonna blow the other ships up.
I'm blowing everybody.
We're gonna
Younglings,
blow
everybody.
Tommy Boy's ships up.
There should be a youngling slaughter gameplay where there's just floating younglings in space and you got to shoot them.
Those are your mods come in, and that's why they don't publish mods.
The mods. All
some
the asteroids have youngling faces. Master Skywalker. And you got to blow them up.
Yeah, and that's why you don't work for a game developer.
That's why I should.
I agree. I should as well. Yeah. Just consultants. We just go in like once a week on a Zoom call and just be like, please let me paint my fucking ship if I want.
Yes.
If I want a purple X-Wing, let me do that.
I want to be able to custom graffiti the side of my ship.
Yeah, like Forza. Yeah. I want stickers, like which parts of the Empire I'm sponsored by.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a Flowmaster exhaust on my TIE Fighter. I want to represent them.
Give me those decals, baby.
Decals. Experience points.
Sponsored by Corellia.
Corellian turbos. Best in the game. Good Day Galaxy Rogue Squadron Podcast. I never said what my name was. I am Mopar.
Yeah, you know who we are. I'm Commander Cody. CC2224.
Stay fresh, stay frosty, and stay away from the sand.
Stay fraudulent.
Stay fraudulent. And update supreme. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Beautiful. All right, streamers. Thanks for joining in. If you are still listening, we'll figure out how to play together, and we'll let everybody know, and we'll get some squads going. Thanks for tuning in, though. Brandon, everybody, appreciate y'all.